Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable and earn a payout. This week was pretty dry, all things considered. Didn't take that many setups since either price wasn't providing the best price action for me to take a trade in, or the setup just came a bit after my allocated trading hours. All good though, as I remained patient for setups that match up with my model and just overall kept a healthy mental this week, so a great week all around. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's just get into this week's trades. Alright, so today we seem to be pretty bullish as we're respecting a daily order block and we're forming extremely bullish within this 4-hour order block. Price was also respecting this 1-hour fair value up, which backed up the buys even more. And looking at the low time frame, price seemed to continue reflecting this bullish sentiment with a 15-minute inverse fair value up plus 5-minute order block forming and being respected, as well as a 5-minute forming a breaker structure to the buy side. Price action does not seem to be the cleanest though, so I'm more likely leaning towards a no trade today. Coming into the setup today, there was no setup as price action just continued to not look that great to me. Since that was the case, I didn't end up taking anything. There was this potential setup from the SMT plus the 15 plus 5-minute fair value gaps, which price respected and got a push down from. It just didn't seem that probable to me, and I didn't have faith in today's price action, which is why I didn't end up forcing anything. I got a problem with it either. Not trading is just as much a part of trading as the act of trading itself, and me being able to hold myself back, especially during days where it's harder to read, is good in my opinion. Okay, so for the high time frame today, price seemed to be pretty bearish as we were respecting some confluences like the 4-hour and 1-hour order block. We also came out of an accumulation range respecting the imbalance, which makes me lean more towards the sells. And looking at the low time frame, price was reflecting what the high time frame showed, with a 15-minute order block plus 5-minute IFG being present. And since we were already respecting these imbalances, I wanted to see a positive shift on the 1 minute where I can then enter. And for the setup today, I didn't see the setup forming and I even considered taking it, but I ended up missing out on the setup. It was honestly pretty good, but in the moment I missed it as I didn't have the confidence to enter, and we were at market open, which is the primary reason why I didn't enter, as I thought that we could get a little retest before going down, which was honestly wishful thinking. I could have seen that had I considered the candle nature more. Since price was accumulating so much into market open, where we then had a powerful shift with a candle body forming a break, I would realistically expect price to run pretty strongly from manipulation. The setup was also very clear, and that combo would have allowed me to consider being more aggressive with the setup, and this is what I learned from today and what I need to consider more going into the future. The setup was really clean, but it's all good. I didn't take it. There will be more like that in the future, and I just got to keep staying consistent. Alright, so Wednesday seems to be pretty bullish as we had a 4-hour plus 1-hour order block being respected, and we also had an internal low sweep which added on more substance. Looking at the low time frame, pricing was reflecting this too, with a 15-minute fair value gap being respected for bullish, though we also have a 5-minute order block for bearish currently, so I'm thinking that we could get some chop before getting into this trade. And going into the setup today, price didn't end up providing as we didn't retest into a 5-minute order block plus 1-minute fair value gap overlap. Since that was also the discount zone of the 5-minute high low range, I really wanted to see price retest this level to convince me to take this setup. Though we just accumulated above and never really went anywhere until later, where we just dumped past all the imbalances. And since that was the case, I just walked today because it isn't worth me waiting to take the setup. I'm pretty dry so far, but it's all good. I'm staying consistent with not forcing setups because I know that these setups aren't the best to take. Like today, had I chased into a setup, I would have lost badly. So yeah, feeling pretty good about it and going to keep on grinding every day, so I will be prepared when a setup does come. Alright, so today seemed to be pretty bullish again as we had a 4-hour plus 1-hour order block below, which price had just formed. We hadn't retested into these imbalances yet, so we could move to tap the imbalance. Coming to the low time frame, we had a 15-minute inverse fair value gap and a 5-minute order block, which price was respecting for bearish currently. Since that was the case, I was more bearish with there being an hourly target and the low time frame backing up the move. And to cut it short, I ended up missing the setup again. Price just ran too quickly for me, and I didn't manage to catch in time. I did see the 1 minute forming the fair value gap, and we retested into it, which was the potential entry, but I wanted to see a stronger break into the trade. Price did end up shifting, but the shift brought us really close to our target, which is why I did end up taking it. Honestly, thinking that price action is being a bit more slow to fast recently, and I need to be more aggressive to catch these types of moves. Also staying aware of the current market condition with AMD because price accumulated again into market open where there was a more volatile move. Okay, so today we seem to be retesting into these high time frame balances here. We were overall traveling bullish still with a bearish retest, so I wanted to see how things look lower down. Looking at the low time frame, price seemed to have whipped into this 15-minute order block and was respecting it pretty well. We were also retesting into this 5-minute fair value up, which I wanted to see the reaction off of. Going into this setup, we actually managed to get into one today. Price ended up forming a break past the 1-minute accumulation range and was still holding the 5-minute IFG. Since we had that plus all the high time frame balances backing up the setup, I decided to take the setup with confidence. Today's setup was a real roller coaster because price was pushing down hard and I came really close to hitting my stop, but price ended up saving my ass and rallying up. I was pretty confident in the stop loss today and it ended up holding up well. Price ran hard and we hit our TP for a nice win of 560. And with today, I'm pretty happy with the setup. I took it with confidence and I learned from Tuesday and Thursday where I need to have more confidence to take the risk. And if I am taking the risk, I thought, why don't I just take it on my own terms? Because of that, I took this setup today because I like the probability and it paid out well. Happy I stayed patient for the setup, and I'm going to go back and continue reflecting to grow. Alright, so that about does it for this week. Really good week, as you can see, where there wasn't that many setups to take and there were some that I missed out on, but that's all good. Since I missed those, I built the courage to take the setups that I am confident in, which worked out well on Friday. And I think the biggest thing that I learned is just to take the setups with confidence. If the setup is backed up by a model, as good confidence is backing it up and price action is backing it up, and you also were eyeing up the setup where it then got confirmed, why wouldn't I take a setup like that? Realistically speaking, that's the setup that has the highest probability of working out, and since that is the case and I also have confidence in my model, why wouldn't I take a setup with confidence? I just thought that since I need to take a risk regardless, I'd rather take on my own terms, so yeah, that's what I learned. I think it's just a really good lesson that others could benefit from. If you see a setup you like that is also backed up by a model, don't be afraid to enter it in. There's not a chance that you avoid them forever. They're also necessary to grow because, like, imagine there's no failure in the world. How could we learn to improve and grow as traders? It's a required part of the process, so don't avoid it like the plague. Take part in it and welcome it, learn from it, and grow. If it's already happened, that's all you can do. But yeah, otherwise, that's about it for this week. So if you guys are interested, check out me and my friends' Discord. It's just a chill place for everybody to talk and grow as traders, and we're all on the same path to become the traders that we want to become, so join up if you guys are keen. But yeah, that's about it for this one, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.